In language reclamation and language revitalization, be careful of how outside people talk about our people. If someone's going to take your resources, they're going to discredit you first. Or if they scare you to death, they're trying to do that to get money off of you. This is the Lakota Language Consortium's website, 2006. Your contributions can help ensure that this final opportunity to save the language and that the language is worth preserving. In recent years, this expanding crisis has reached a deadly climax. Only a handful, perhaps a dozen, can be considered viable enough to survive. Despite these obstacles, Lakota has a slight, though significant, chance of being revitalized. By making a gift through your will, you will provide countless children the ability to doesn't even make sense, the ability to able to learn their language again, allowing the Lakota language to endure for the coming generations. Many feel for the first time we're saving it, but a sense of genuine hope that a book like this may help save the language. They were trying to sell books at the time. Your gift allows us to produce the Lakota language materials so urgently needed on the reservation. You can feel secure in knowing that your generosity helps create a new generation of Lakota speakers. Lakota children have wanted to learn their language, but have not been able to for want of textbooks and learning aids. Teachers have wanted teaching aids, but often can't get them. Since the 1970s, there have been efforts to introduce the Lakota language into the schools, but none of these attempts have succeeded in producing Lakota speakers. The Lakota language will be beyond recovery. Wilhelm Maya said, "There's no central organizing body which leads this endeavor. Rather, this effort is disjointed, decentralized, and undertaken by varying individuals and institutions, each of which have different approaches to communicating and utilizing the Lakota knowledge system." Maya again, working to produce Lakota language textbooks to elementary schools, something he was shocked to find did not exist after 30 years of bilingual education on Lakota reservations. Biggest problem from facing Lakota language education is teachers' lack of training and materials. The kids want to learn something, but they can't get it from the teachers because the teachers have given up. It is better to train good teachers, even non-speakers who you can control, than to just get a native speaker and put them in a classroom. Lack of qualified teachers, the lack of curriculum. Concerned outsiders are trying to breathe new life into the Lakota language. Without action, this slow death could be complete in the next 10 to 20 years. We need to find a way to create a new generation of speakers. These are white folks saying that. We, the white folks, are starting from scratch in a way. Ulrich and Maya have done a lot of press selling their products, so I'm gonna need a part 2 of all these trauma narratives, savior narratives. You can't really see this, but on the bottom, Ulrich's talking. 90% of these repositories of knowledge will pass into oblivion unless we do something about it. This one's funny. Some participants have said this experience is like going through West Point. Maya's talking about the LLC summer thing. West Point training for language of revitalization battle. Our intent is always to create positive attitude and hope in our teachers. The LLC offers the final opportunity. Unfortunately, the use of the Lakota language is in near irreversible decline. The project is promising start on the road to Lakota language revitalization. So a lot of those were in 2006, 2005, early on. Maya just said this in the NBC News article in June 3rd. But it was difficult for anyone to learn the language, he said, just because there were no materials and nothing very consistent there. Like all of these materials, these are all materials that were created before the LLC. But our people did push back. It's unrealistic. We already are teaching the language. We have qualified staff. Standardization is impossible. We must respect our variations in dialects. We're already doing the work. Look at point 3. This is the big one. Don't we as Lakota people have confidence in ourselves? Is it better to have outsiders come in and tell us how to speak and organize our language? Why not just give the monies to OLC at tribal college? Any development of languages need to come from and stay within the tribal community. If there's going to be a major effort, can we do it through tribal colleges? These kinds of things portray us as deficient, that we must need outsiders. It's an attack on sovereignty. Our people are against standardization. Who's going to decide what is standardized? This will cause dissent in politics to become a factor that was prophetic. The truth is, Maya's organization made themselves the recipient of all funds on behalf of the Lakota language, on behalf of 4 Lakota-speaking tribes, over about 100,000 members in their initial MOU, 38 schools. standing in the way of tribal colleges, grassroots effort, tribal language departments. So the revenues that they've made have been over $7.3 million that we know of. Maya has made more than this, but he's made about at least $869,000 off of our language. And the promises that they made, the Lakota Language Consortium's textbook are now used in 22 schools, reaching 4,000 to 5,000 students each year. Maya estimates his goal is that the consortium can help 20,000 students reach language proficiency in the next 5 years and fluency in 10. In Dr. Hoff's paper, Beyond Numbers, Colors, and Animals, it has been over 10 years and the efforts have not produced the kinds of language proficiency the tribe had hoped for. There have been no proficient speakers graduating from Standing Rock schools. Damn. My tribal people, be careful out there of things like this, the TLC and the LLC and the LLA.